Hello, everybody. Today we're going to look at this short story here. We're going to look at this short story about three friends. So here are, I think, three friends. I think this is three friends. Maybe it's three colleagues. It could be three colleagues from work, but I think it's three friends. And it looks like these three friends are just hanging out. Looks like they're just hanging out. They are sat at the table. So there is one, two, three friends, and they are sat at the table here. On the table, there are two bottles, one, two, three cups. And I think in the middle here, I think this is a bucket. So there is a bucket in the middle of the table. There are three cups and two bottles. And the three friends are sitting on, each of them are sitting on chairs. And I think also there is music playing in the background as well. So we can see that there is also music playing in the background. So these three friends here are just hanging out. They're just taking it easy. You know, it looks like they are just relaxing. They are just taking it easy, hanging out, and just having a chat. So the three friends here, they're just having a chat, taking it easy, having a few drinks, just hanging out with their friends, having a good night. Sometimes it's good, after work, sometimes you just need to take it easy, right? You don't want to work, you want to just relax sometimes. So sometimes it's good to just hang out with your friends and just take it easy. And so the music is still playing in the background. And we can see that we have three cups, one bucket, and three bottles here. I assume these are three bottles of beer. I assume that this is three bottles of beer. Of course, it could be Coca-Cola or something else. It looks like the bucket here is filled with ice. This bucket here looks like it's filled with ice cubes somehow. I suppose the reason that the bucket is filled with ice cubes is so you can put your beer bottle into the bucket to keep the beer bottle cold. And I think that's why the bucket here is filled with ice cubes. And it looks like there are also some ice cubes in each cup as well. It looks like there are ice cubes in each cup, but the bucket is filled to the top with ice cubes. So the bucket is filled to the top with all the way with ice cubes. It's not filled halfway. It's filled all the way to the top with ice cubes here. Anyway, it looks like the three friends are still just hanging out, having a chat, taking it easy. Now it seems that the waiter has come over. So the waiter has come over to the table. And I think the waiter here is asking the three friends what they would like to drink. So now that the waiter has come over to ask to take their order, so the waiter has come over to take their order. And the woman here, it looks like the woman has asked for three more bottles of beer. So the woman has asked for three more bottles of beer, and the waiter is going to write it down on his notepad here. Excuse me. The waiter is going to write it down on his notepad. So the waiter is taking her order right now, and she has ordered three bottles of beer. Next, it looks like the three friends have carried on chatting. Still, they're just hanging out, just taking it easy after work. It's always good to just relax after you finish a long day at work. And I think they're just taking it easy. And now it looks like they are ready to pay. So the woman is handing or giving or handing some money to the waiter. And it looks like she is paying in cash. So she's not paying by card. No, she has decided not to pay by card, but instead she is paying in cash. So she's paying in cash, she's handing him the money, and the waiter is taking the money. Okay, now they are leaving the bar. I assume they were at a bar or maybe a restaurant, but I think it was a bar. To be honest, I think the three friends here, these three friends who were hanging out, they were chatting, they were drinking, I think they are a little bit drunk now. You see this? We have these little circles here. I think it's because they have drunk a few bottles of beer. So they're a little bit drunk now. Maybe they are not very drunk. Maybe they're just a little bit drunk. Yes. Maybe they're just a bit tipsy. Yeah, I don't think these three friends are extremely drunk. No, I think they're just a bit tipsy because I think they have had two bottles of beer each. So this man has had two bottles. This woman has had two bottles. And this man has had two bottles of beer. So I don't think they're extremely drunk, but I think they're probably a bit tipsy. You know, sometimes after you drink a couple of bottles of beer, you're okay. You can go home. You are not going to fall over on the ground, but maybe you just feel a little bit different, a little bit tipsy after two bottles of beer. And it looks like they are still chatting together and having fun. Yeah. And now the three friends, now they have left the bar. And they still seem a little bit tipsy, I think. The three friends. This man looks a bit tipsy. This woman still be maybe a little bit drunk. Not too drunk, but a little bit, just a bit tipsy. And this man also, I think, is a bit tipsy. If we look behind, there is a woman here who is selling some kind of food. I don't know. She is sitting at the food stall. So the woman here is at a food stall, and she is selling some kind of food at her food stall. But what I think here is the three friends have seen a tuk-tuk. So this is a tuk-tuk. You can find tuk-tuks in Asia. You can find a tuk-tuk in countries like Thailand or Vietnam, Cambodia. You can often, maybe India, you can often find tuk-tuks in these countries. So I think the three friends, they have seen the tuk-tuk or they have spotted the tuk-tuk. It looks like they have spotted the tuk-tuk over there by next to the food store. So they've spotted the tuk-tuk, and I suppose they are thinking about taking a ride in the tuk-tuk. So I think they've spotted the tuk-tuk, and I think they're going to go over and ask this man about the price of the tuk-tuk. So that's what's about to happen. I think they're about to speak to this man and ask about the price of the tuk-tuk. How much does it cost to have a ride on his tuk-tuk? And so now, hold on. So now the three friends are talking with the tuk-tuk driver. I think this is the tuk-tuk driver. It looks like he's smoking a cigarette right now. So the tuk-tuk driver is smoking a cigarette. He has a cigarette in his mouth right now. So he's smoking a cigarette, and the three friends are talking with him about taking a ride in his Tuktuk. But unfortunately, I think that the tuk-tuk driver has told them about the price, and the three friends, they look kind of astonished. They look kind of astonished by the price. That's what it seems like. I guess it's a little bit pricey. I think that this tuk-tuk is a little bit pricey, you know? It's a bit expensive. It's a bit pricey. And I think the price is very, very high. And so the three friends are kind of astonished by this high price that the tuk-tuk driver has given them. So it looks like it is a bit pricey. And honestly, these three friends, they seem kind of astonished by how high the price is. And so it looks like the three friends are going to turn down his offer. So they're not going to take his offer. The man gave his offer for a tuk-tuk ride, but it looks like the three friends are not going to take his offer. Instead, they're going to say no thanks, and they're going to turn down his offer instead. You know, I think the offer was a little bit pricey, a little bit too pricey for these three friends. So these three friends have decided to turn down his offer. They are not going to accept his offer. They're going to turn it down instead. And so the three friends have decided to walk away. And the tuk-tuk driver, honestly, I think he looks a little bit disappointed. But it's his fault for giving them such a pricey offer for the tuk-tuk journey, and these three friends are going to look elsewhere. So they have decided to turn down the tuk-tuk driver's offer, and they're going to look elsewhere instead. They're just going to look elsewhere, somewhere different. They've turned down his offer, and they're going to look elsewhere instead. And so instead, they have found another tuk-tuk driver, and I think that the price this time is a little bit more affordable. So the price here seems to be affordable. The three friends seem kind of happy. They seem satisfied with the price. So the three friends, I think they seem kind of satisfied with the price here of the tuk-tuk, because I think this tuk-tuk driver has not given them high price. This one is not too pricey. This one is not too pricey. It seems to be quite affordable. So that's why the three friends seem to be satisfied with this price here. And there we go. The three friends have decided to take the offer. They have decided to accept the offer of the tuk-tuk driver. They did not turn down the offer. They took the offer because I think it was a nice, affordable price. It was not too pricey. It seemed like a reasonable price, right? To be honest, I think the last man here, this tuk-tuk driver was trying to rip them off. Yeah, I think that this tuk-tuk driver was trying to rip them off. It seems like a bit of a rip-off because these three people are tourists. They are tourists, so I guess the tuk-tuk driver thought that he could rip them off. He thought that he could give a very high price, a much higher price, maybe because these three are tourists. But so the tuk-tuk driver has tried to rip them off, but I think these three friends, they were a bit astonished by this high price, and they could see that the price was a bit of a rip-off, to be honest. So that price was a complete rip-off, far too expensive. The tuk-tuk driver is trying to really rip them off here. It's not good when you go to another country and you go to a taxi driver or a tuk-tuk driver and they try to rip you off. It happens in many countries around the world, unfortunately. You have to be careful not to get ripped off by drivers sometimes in other countries. So they've accepted this taxi driver, tuk-tuk driver's offer because it's not a rip-off. He seems like he's given a more affordable price. And so the three friends have in tuk-tuk. So they've hopped in, they've got in tuk-tuk. Looks like the three of them have hopped in here. The tuk-tuk, and they're about to drive away. And the three friends drive away. They drive away in their tuk-tuk, while the other tuk-tuk driver, the one who tried to rip them off, this driver here, who tried to rip off the three friends, he looks a bit disappointed, but that is his fault for trying to rip off three friends. He should have given them an affordable price, but instead he tried to rip them off instead. So now the three friends are leaving. So guys, thank you very much. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.